Auctions are markets in their purest form. An object of desire sits on the block, surrounded by bidders pushing the price higher and higher. Whoever offers the highest price gets to take it home and pay the bill. Only the most valuable and unique items are typically sold at auction. Among those that fetch the highest prices are paintings by famous artists, like Rembrandt and Picasso. Canvases they painted can sell for over $100 million a pop. But what is it that makes one work of art more valuable than another? Can we predict the price a particular masterpiece will fetch before the auction actually happens? Artists typically use models to inspire them in their creative process. But we will show how art can inspire us to create models of our own, computational models that properly value their creations. Hi, I'm your host, Steven Skeena. Welcome to the Quant Shop, where we use mathematical analysis and computational modeling to help predict the future. We're the Quant Shop, and we're open for business. Are you people ready to face your challenge?
Yes.
You people look like a particularly artistic, sensitive group of people. So your job is, there is going to be an art auction at Sotheby's where they're going to be selling a bunch of very expensive paintings. And I need you guys to tell me what they are going to sell for prior to the contest. Are you ready to face your challenge?
Yes.
Okay, what would a Skeena painting sell for if it went to auction? Okay, let's see how well you can predict things. What?
Can you draw?
Can I draw? I can draw on a checking account. But
That's
more than that I
checking
cannot
account
do.
money.
You ready for your challenge?
Yeah.
Go face your challenge. Okay, good luck.
I'm slightly disappointed because it's a very different kind of challenge. I'm not a very artsy person. I was never good at art.
Realize I can do a lot of cool stuff just using my laptop.
I know absolutely nothing about it, but I guess it's totally a different side to my interests, and maybe it'll be a good chance to learn about art and some paintings and probably get some, I don't know, a different perspective on life maybe. Yeah,
You know, you might fall in love with art.
maybe.
I like music, so I guess painting is just another format of art.
I guess it's a different kind of challenge, like learning about the art auction market. That's completely different. It has some economics principles involved in it, and I was an economics major too as an undergrad.
And why did you end up taking data science?
3-4 years I've been hearing people talking about Skeena as a very excellent professor, as very smart. So,
You
and
didn't get a chance to take the undergrad course with Skeena?
yes, I did.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I want to take the game.
Yeah, see, that's-
Domain is pretty new and interesting, but I kind of find modern art pretty funny because
Funny?
Yeah, because
Okay.
I've been to a bunch of modern art museums and all we have done is just sit there and make fun of the pictures. We're like, why the hell did it sold for $100 million? I mean, what's in there that is sold for $500 million or something? So I still couldn't figure it out. The moment Skeena gave us this project, I was like, okay, it's going to be fun. I mean, I don't know what we're going to do. I mean, we have no idea about how to detect a price ourselves, let alone making a machine do it. So let's see. I think it's going to be fun. in
I
the
mean,
end.
I have a comment on this. Is the painters who have passed away a long time ago, their paintings sell for $100 million because they're never going to be produced again. So I guess one of the modeling factors we can see is like, when did the painter die? You can see that bidding on art or painting is a very interesting problem. You would want to know how to predict the price of a painting so anyone can go and bid with a decent price. So let's see how we come up with a prediction model.
Get as big a data set as you can about what art's available, what properties does each piece of art have. Is it a painting? Is it a sculpture? When was it made? What type of art was it? Okay, you would want to have some kind of data, who the artist was, details about the artist. and you'd want to look at what were the prices that things sold. And from this kind of a record, hopefully you can build a, a reasonable model.
So we're supposed to be a bunch of artistic people, but as Prema is the only one who is the most artistic among us, and she combines all our skill sets together, so she's going to present an artistic piece for us, and let's see how that goes.
$1,000?
Chinese yen maybe.
Okay, that's decent enough
I
for
go
a 2-minute
10,000.
painting. Yeah. 10,000?
10,000?
Wow.
Yeah.
I guess this kind of becomes an interesting prediction problem.
11,000?
11,000. Okay. How about we make a deal? I keep the coconut tree, you take the rest of the picture.
Alright, you're not going up?
Maybe no.
Okay, 11,000 once. 11,000
Twice.
twice. 11,000 deal.
Deal.
Hello guys, we're the Art Trackers. I'm Farhan.
I'm Bhavey.
I'm Prema.
I'm Shufam.
And
That's a short introduction.
so keep tight and just enjoy the show, and let's see how the paintings sell for.
Building a model to predict the prices that a particular object of art will fetch at auction will require price data on many other artworks as well. We know that people pay a lot of money for a particular painting by Picasso because people have paid a lot of money for a lot of other Picassos. Accumulating accurate price data on works by artist, genre, and historical period is a prerequisite to building a model that will enable us to put a price on something new. But what makes a work of art special isn't necessarily easy to capture in numbers. Even if you take two works by the same artist, painted around the same time, one is likely to be much more desirable than the other, and accordingly will fetch a higher price. It seems very difficult to build a model which captures a sense of aesthetics, particularly for challenging areas like modern art. But we will have to see to what extent such an understanding of art is necessary to accurately put a price on its head. For a big sale like this, the auction is going to produce a catalog. And on that catalog, they're going to probably tell you information about the art. So people can, they're trying to sell it, okay, when they look at the catalog. And maybe the price history is on the catalog. Certainly the provenance of how often it's been sold is on the catalog. But somehow we agree you want to get as much data as you can about prices that art has sold for.
So to start from here, right? Where are the estimates? I don't see the estimates. Do you?
No, what I'm doing here is now I'm getting all the articles that contains this. So I'm getting all the tags with article. I actually won't even
How are you
need this.
saying all the articles? Because, I mean, where are you saying you should get all the
See,
articles?
two backslash means that you're getting all this tag.
Oh, okay.
This is an expat thing.
Yeah. We are finding it difficult to get more data, but I guess the domain itself turns out to be interesting, which I never expected. But the dynamics that goes into auction and predicting the price of the paintings seems to be pretty interesting project right now. So we're okay with the baseline model for now, but we need more data, and I guess we'll be putting in a lot of efforts to get more data. Let's see how it goes. I'm hoping we'll be able to come up with a good model once we have a rich data set. Yeah.
I'm really enjoying working with my team. I mean, I feel like it's really great working with them in the sense that like I don't have so much pressure working on something. Everyone pulls their own weight, so the work is very well distributed. So it's been a fun ride so far.
Any other ideas about how they can help measure the popularity of an artist? We kind of believe, yes.
Can you use engrams?
So engrams is a great idea, I think. Engrams. So we talked I talked earlier in class about this Google data set where you can keep count of how often people's artists' names appeared in books, right? And Picasso appears zillions of times, Skeena sub-zillions, right? So that would be one way to measure how popular people are, okay? Internet queries is probably one of them. Any other ideas? I have this book that I just published on the significance of historical figures, and we have data sets on these kind of things. And perhaps if you ask me politely, there is some data I can give you on that kind of thing. Okay, so what's up, Doc?
The next part of the project that's coming up, like especially the kinds of models that you're talking about, error checking on the models and everything. Could you just tell us a little more?
Well, you want to build some kind of price model
Right.
for paintings. Right now, what is your price model based on? Solely on the estimate from the auction house.
Right.
Okay, it's good to assess and study to see how accurate these things are. But for most works of art, you don't have this data, right? And you should be able to form an independent view of what this art would be worth to.
If you didn't have the estimate.
If you didn't have the estimate. So how would you do that?
Okay.
Okay, you tell me. Okay, now there's a new painting by Picasso that isn't in your database, let's say. Or let's say you know the gross size and some stats about it.
Right.
How do you pay what it should sell for?
You
So-
could have a machine learning model with features like the painting size, the dimensions, the medium, the artist's popularity.
Okay, so one thing is you could have those gross statistics about the artist and that painting, and that might help, okay?
Right.
But according to that model, you would say that any Picasso that was of the same size is going to sell for the same amount. I mean, one thing that I would be thinking about is you probably want to look at the distribution of what things people have paid for other Picassos. This seems to me to be what I would be thinking about somewhat, okay? Is you have data now on, you're saying 200,000 art sales. You probably want to look for comparisons. What are the other paintings that were most like this that sold? And what prices did these fetch?
You mean something like clustering?
You might be doing some clustering of paintings, or this is more like a nearest neighbor kind of model, right? If you could figure out how similar one painting is, or one painting record transaction is for the another, then probably making some kind of a forecast based on which are the most similar paintings to it seem like it would be helpful. Does that seem like a reasonable thing?
Right.
So if I think of, let's say, what are the dimensions that I'd be worrying about? One is, what is it that other paintings like this have done? When did they do it? One is, what is the nature of the art market at this moment? Is it, and maybe skew these things up or down based on the nature of it at this moment. So what I can do is I can tell you something about the significance of artists from based on the analysis in my book. How did we rank the historical significance of artists? These were numbers of where they rank in significance. We said Leonardo da Vinci was most significant. So Michelangelo, Goya, El Greco, Vermeer.
We want to differentiate between artists such as a Picasso compared to someone as a Joe Schmo who just has no record. Can we do that?
Yeah, I mean, I think what we can do is we can consider it on the last names, because then we won't have to encounter stuff like middle name missing
Right,
or
okay.
name abbreviated.
That's fine.
And most of them have pretty obscure last names.
Okay, I mean, today I think Skeena mentioned one thing was like, we shouldn't be scared about trying stuff. I'm saying like you don't have to do it, but like if you can, if it's possible, like even if you get like 0 results or like no n-gram results, that's fine. We can put a 0 or something like a baseline or an average it out. We can do something like that. But like having some kind of an idea about an artist would be helpful, like a ranking kind of thing. So yeah, one of our main struggles was getting the data. It was much harder to get the data, and that was one of Professor's comments from previous time. But so we went through some online databases, but most of them were closed out to the public.
Now we have a baseline model that is very simple to predict the price, but we are going to enhance it with more factors in the future. And I think we will build a very fine model for the prediction, but however, this is human involved actions for the auction, so humans unpredictable. But anyway, we'll try our best.
So I would like to first of all thank you so much, Dave.
Oh, well, it's my pleasure.
Yeah.
Yes, it's fun. It's a perfect day for you to come and do this.
Okay. Works for us, yeah. I have a question for you if you don't mind. So I've seen some Picasso, actually Van Gogh actually, I was going through some Van Gogh data and I saw some of his paintings sell in the millions, but like some actually were in the top 100,000s. So why is there a huge discrepancy or disparity between these prices?
Some of those Picasso paintings were, have gone through, aside from just having it, have gone through the provenance. They've, and he has been considered one of the greatest painters of the 20th century. And then, a lot of very wealthy collectors, everybody wants it. And that's really what makes it almost.
So there's a supply and demand.
Artists work hard. They work and work and work, like anybody who's successful.
Yeah. So I would like to quote Van Gogh's story, like he died a poor man.
Yes, he did.
It's surprising, isn't it? These paintings are going for millions.
Millions, yeah.
And he died a poor man. It's
Yeah.
just, it just comes back to the same point we were talking about, right? Like his art was never appreciated during his
Right.
time, and now the demand is just skyrocketing. And one of the hypotheses that I came, doing this project was like, any dead artist, their art value would be actually higher. But honestly, like yesterday, I got some data, and it's not actually true. There are so many artists like who painted in the 1800s, early 1900s, who are not alive, but their paintings actually didn't go for a lot of money. So I guess, how did people start appreciating someone like Van Gogh?
There seems to be a whole process. There are some very famous dealers who sold a lot of paintings. For example, there's a dealer called Devine, and he is responsible for working with Frick and a lot of the industrialists, and he has put a lot of masterpieces into the Metropolitan Museum. And this was, 1900s and so on. And again, it has to do with suddenly there's this interest, and then it just, it's like building a snowman
Just
in a way.
momentum.
The momentum, yeah.
Thank you once again.
Oh, my
Pleasure
pleasure,
meeting
and
you.
keep in touch with me, and I'll
Thank
find
you
out
so
these
much.
questions for you, and then put you on the mailing list so that you can come to an opening. Okay?
Thank you.
So now we moved on to an advanced model where we've considered paintings which are only greater than 100K. So we wanted to only include those artists who are really famous in terms of their paintings being sold for definitely more than 100K. What we did was we went ahead and first found out all those artists whose paintings are being sold for greater than 100K, and we found around 700 such artists, and we got around 40,000 paintings. Interestingly, we wanted to do some image analysis of these paintings, and we were able to scrape 18,000 images out of these 40,000 paintings. So now we have more data. Now moving on to features. Now we have a lot more features in terms of different categories. We have around 23 features. We've categorized them into features related to a painting, features for an artist, and features for an image, now that we have images. So let's see what these features are. Features for the artist. You can see significance, gravitas, celebrity, fame, number of years since the artist was born, number of years since the artist died. Now let's look at the painting features. The names are pretty self-explanatory. We have the price where we've adjusted the inflation. We have an economics package which we imported and we've adjusted the prices. We have the year in which the painting was sold. We have height, width, area and aspect ratio are calculated from height and width. We have the medium, which is again a categorical variable. So we have categorized it into three categories. Zero being oil on canvas, 1 being on paper, and 2 being others. We have auction house. Interestingly, this turns out to be a valuable feature. So we've categorized this into Sotheby's, Christie's, and others. We have low estimates and high auction estimates. and we have a premium. So this is kind of telling us if premium has been included in the selling price of the painting. So that kind of tells us that kind of helps us deal with the calculations that we have to do while we are predicting the final price. And this is when the painting was painted, the date when it was painted. So now that we have so many features, it was the very first thing that we did was to understand which of these features are actually helping us in the model for a better prediction. So that is where all these purple stars come into picture. We have 24 such features, but only around 10 or 11 of them turns out to be really important or which has any value to the model at all. We did not have paintings which were highly overestimated or highly underestimated. We kind of cut this tail, and the features were very powerful, even the model was, which helped us improve the accuracy and reduce the error percentages further. So let's look at the performance now. So for the linear regression model, though it was just a simple linear regression model, we had powerful features now. So the median error percentage was 23.9 and the mean was 27.7. The KNN did not perform as well as we expected. So it gave us a median relative error percentage of 36.4 and the mean of 40.1. Decision tree, like I said, interestingly performed really well. So it was pretty close to linear regression, but linear regression was the best model we could have, with 25.8% as the median error percentage and around 30% as the mean. So to kind of conclude, and I mean, having spoken about all these models and how we moved from having very less data with 2 features to a lot more data, more features, more models, a lot of evaluation statistics, I guess it's important to understand what features kind of affect the actual price in a large sense, and that kind of is true. So that kind of showed us that what features have weight to the model. So it's been a good progression, I would say, from where we've started and from where we are now. And I guess the advanced model is performing really well. And one important thing to note is it's doing better than the estimates the Sotheby's and Christie's have given. So that I think is a good thing, and there's definitely a value add to what is already there in the market out there.
What do you guys think about the models before we watch the auction or something like that? So how accurate do you think will be?
I mean, actually we've got like 2 models, so I'm not sure which one's gonna perform better. I mean, on the test data they both have like same kind of accuracy. Let's just see, I mean, how it works out in this case.
£12 million, at £12 million, 12 million, 12 million 5, at 12 million 5, 12 million 500,000, at 12 million 5, 12 million 8, 13 million pounds, one of those rather unfortunate moments. Okay, 13 million. 13 million pounds.
Definitely
12 million
it's predicted to be 32 million.
13 million 5, 14 million, 14 million pounds, 14 million. 14 million pounds.
The current bid is at
14 million
12.5.
pounds. 15 million.
Let's see how it
15
goes.
million pounds. Okay, 15 million pounds.
Now it's 13 million? Higher.
See, this is a Turner painting that has not been in the market for a long time.
15 million
So
5, 16
It might go well above the
yeah,
estimate.
it'll definitely beat the estimates, but like how
14
much?
million 5. 17 million. 17 million. 17 million.
How do they fit millions in like a second?
19 million. At 19 million pounds. 19 million 5. 20 million. I've got 20 million pounds. 20
It is 2 buyers.
18 million pounds.
So I'm hoping our decision tree does better in this case.
22. 22 million 5. 22 million 5's here. 23 million. I've got 23 million pounds. 23 million 5. 23 5. Against you both at 23 million 5. 22. 22 million five.
Two guys.
22 million five here. 23 million. I've got 23 million pounds. 23 million five.
Okay, so go ahead. Come on. You can go. Go ahead.
Go ahead, but stop it.
24 million.
Okay, now it's getting slow.
24 million pounds. 24 million pounds.
What? Don't tell me. Don't stop.
Don't stop. Come on.
24 million pounds.
Make it 32. 25. Just jump to 32, man.
24 million pounds. It's got 24 million pounds. And this year, 24 million five.
Okay. Increased.
25 million.
25, okay.
25.
We're close. Come on.
26 million pounds.
It's silence.
7 more million. Come on.
25 million five.
Now we are better than the estimates in any case.
Yes,
Yes.
we have been
Way better
yes.
than the estimates.
26
The decision tree is better than the estimates, right?
Yes,
Not-
not the
Yeah,
linear
not the linear
regression.
regression.
26 million pounds. 26 million pounds. 26 million pounds. I'm going to sell it for 26 million pounds. It's against you, Alex.
1 more.
You give me a sign of life or 26 million
The
pounds.
guy is actually asking them for one more.
26 million pounds.
Are you getting everything?
26 million pounds. I'm going to have to sell it. 26 million pounds. I'm
Why
going
did
to sell
this
it.
fail?
26
At
million
26
pounds.
million
It's
pounds.
against you,
Fair
Alex.
warning.
At 26 million.
26
Will you
million.
give me a sign of life or 26 million pounds?
27 million.
26 million.
27
I'm going to
million
have to sell it.
No, finito.
No.
26
No,
million
no,
pounds.
no, no,
Finish
no,
it.
no.
We
At
have it
26 million
Anybody
pounds.
else
Fair
interested,
warning.
by the way? At 27
26
million
million
pounds. Are we all
pounds.
done? We can sell it
Supposed to say
at
that just 3
27
times,
million
right?
pounds.
Is that
Plus,
No,
and sell it for
he hasn't gone on 1 2 until
27
yet.
million.
Oh, okay.
So,
27 million pounds.
None of us are very artsy, and this was a topic that was completely out of our comfort zones. I mean, I personally don't have a lot of interest in art, and my teammates, I'm not so sure about them, but like I wasn't really into the project in the beginning.
Have you developed any more interest in art?
I mean, after searching for over 1,000 artists and finding their, paintings, I actually developed a slight interest in art.
What about you? How do you think the semester went?
I mean, before this semester started, I had never been to an art museum before, like never in my life. So after I got this project, that's when for the first time I went to this gallery in Stony Brook. So yeah, like Farhan was saying, most of us were not inclined towards this project, but I guess over the course of the semester, we kind of have a little bit of understanding, I would say, of art right now. Yeah, it went good.
Okay, have you guys now ever been to the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York? We're not
No,
that
but
far.
I'll definitely go now.
Oh, yeah, you'll see real art. Okay, how good do you think your model was at the end?
I think it was fairly good because we definitely did better than the estimates. And given that
You beat the baseline estimates, and that's probably hard because again, you're trying to beat what the auction house was trying to say the painting was going to go for.
Right.
And in general, when you have a business, the people in the business know what they're talking about. So I have no doubt that Sotheby's knows or has a pretty darn good idea of what a painting is going to be selling for. Okay, and so I have to believe that there's a fair amount of accumulated wisdom in these estimates.
right.
And if in fact you have a classifier that can do a little bit better than that, I think that's a good job and all the power to you. That about wraps things up here in Art Auction Land. Join us soon for another episode of The Quant Shop.
We are the quant company of the business.